Good day. You're listening to You Talk. It's a program dedicated to diversity, highlighting native-born and new Canadians' cultures and experiences. I'm your host, Ryan Funk. You know what I realized today? I don't give enough appreciation to what my mother does in my life. For that I say, I'm sorry, Mom. Thank you. And I love you. To recognize what women do in society and for each of us each day was why Asian Women in Winnipeg was started. Sharan Tappia is one of the founding members. She shares a little bit about her life and how her experiences led her to want to help create this organization.
Actually, I was born in India. I'm born in a Sikh family and raised in India, Punjab as well. We had a big joint family. My dad is like seven brothers and two sisters, and we had a really big house with all the auntie uncles, living together. So for me, to come from such a big family, like you are living in a village, and then coming to England. So I was born and raised there, education there, went to England, got married to my husband, Dr. Sharan Tappia, whose parents actually migrated from India, Amritsar, which is where the Golden Temple is, from that city to England, like long time ago. And it was an arranged marriage, of course. And I was too young and naive to understand the whole concept. But I think if I look at my own life story, I think I have came a long way. Mainly cultural barriers coming from India and to England. It was a big cultural change for myself. Seeing especially the ladies, because the family I came from very protective. I think the only people we were talking to or sort of allowed to talk to is within your own household, or the people we know. I think we only had one of my auntie was a teacher, and she was the only one in the family who, it's not like other women were not educated, but she was the only one going out of the house and working. And all other aunties and uncle, my aunties and my grandma, they were all housewives and good housemakers, no doubt about it. But then coming out and going to England, it was like a big change for myself. And then I think second language, like having English as a second language in England, oh my God, I couldn't even understand what they were saying. They said they were speaking English, but
Yep.
so I had some difficult time, but I think I had a very supportive husband, and I always consider him as one of my best friend. All the support you get from your parents or friends or other. I think I got all one inclusive package in my husband. So he supported me so much. He said, you don't need to work, go to school, learn all the things first. Whatever you want to do. Education was very, very, I think, important in life. I knew that before, but my husband really encouraged me to go. So started from going to those English classes and then working one after the other, 4 or 5 jobs, and then end up working in a hospital in Southampton. So I think I made so much progress because a person who never thought I will be working as going out of the house and working. And then look, after a few years in Canada, I became a realtor.
Yeah.
And
you've had a very busy life.
And realtors working with, it's mostly like you're dealing with men all the time, most of them. So they considered as a decision makers. And not every culture is the same, but still 90% people I'm dealing with, all the families from different backgrounds, men are the decision maker. So for them to see me as a woman working in this field, it's a completely different game. For them it's shocking too, especially when you get people from different cultures, especially from India or other ethno culture. Yeah, very much. And I don't know why, but maybe because I think it's the cultural difference too. Maybe we never had that kind of freedom, or the safety and the security we feel in Canada. I don't think it was there. And whatever our parents were doing in order to protect us, I think they were 100% right. Look at our daughters. Like, I have a daughter who went to university. Uh, I don't have to worry about what time she's coming and going. Just knowing that she is gonna be okay, she's safe. She's taking the car. But if I'm in India and like long time ago, I don't think um, my parents would have trusted me. That not me actually. It's not like the trust in me, but it's the trust in the whole society, uh, that letting you go out alone. I remember.
So a very different atmosphere there.
Oh, completely. I don't think we were ever out of in the evening after the sunset. We are not going out unless we are with the family. That's a different story. But I don't remember even going out and doing shopping alone ever, ever. We were always going with my dad. Um, that's it. Or my brothers will go and do the shopping if anything needed from the shops. My mom will always send my brothers and cousins, but no girls were going out of the house for anything. So that kind of atmosphere, and now look at us. Nobody cares where we are anymore.
You can just go out, enjoy life.
Enjoy life. And so we've seen a big change. I think I have seen a big change, in a good way. And when I had my daughter, I always thought I will be giving her, equal opportunities. Whatever I give it to my son, I will be giving the same opportunities to my daughter, and there won't be any discrimination. Because that time, as a child, you think, oh, my brother can go out, but I cannot, that sort of thing. But I think now I understand my parents' point of view, that why, they were so protective towards us.
Yeah, you want to be protective of your children, but you also want to give them, the opportunities to
Yes.
thrive and succeed.
Of course, because we need to give them wings, but I think it's equally important to give them roots as well. Otherwise, they will not be able to grow and flourish.
Perfect. And I also see that you're involved with the Asian Women of Winnipeg. Tell me a little bit about that, your involvement there.
I'm actually a founder. We had this organization inaugurated in 2014, and then made it an incorporation in 2016. I served in many ethno-cultural organizations, like Punjab Foundation, India Association, and then Punjab Center itself. But then we decided to, I think I had this gut feeling that I need to do more. Maybe because I was working as a realtor, and I think dealing with all the different cultures, um, it just gave me this I think this need inside my heart or soul, that I should not be only serving on one of the ethno-cultural organization. We should be doing more when I'm dealing with so many different cultures, and there's so much diversity. And I think this profession helped me to get to know different cultures, get to know different people from different backgrounds, from different age groups. And I think that widened my thinking, or you can say, or widened my your sixth sense. Your sixth sense, and you feel like you belong to a different world. You are not in in a well anymore. You are in a different ocean where you see so many different people, and you need to do more. um, I think that was my inspiration to just to have this need inside me to do more than I was doing. That women can do so much, and they're already doing so much, and it's just I think there was not enough recognition that they are doing so much.
Yeah, just recognition or highlighting a group of people who are, doing so much within their communities.
Yeah, and women are doing it all the time, and like I see my mom, she been a housewife for all her life, right? And I never seen her getting a day off. And I think until I became mom myself, I realized how hard work it is to be a mom. And I have two kids, and my mom has five, and it's lots of work. And technology wasn't there, and the help we are getting these days, all the dishwashers and washing machines and the vacuums.
Of course, all the modern conveniences.
Now we have so many helpers. But I think you realize when you get the responsibility on your shoulder that how much work there is until you end up doing it. So that was my way of I think realization and getting people acknowledged, especially the women, to acknowledge their contribution, not to only families but to the society, to make this the community stronger, and their contributions is unbelievable.
Yeah. So going back to the Asian women of Winnipeg, you've created this environment to, celebrate and acknowledge the hard work that women here in the community are doing. So what sort of things do you do at the Asian Women of Winnipeg? What sort of initiatives or activities do you have going on?
We started actually with the celebration of Mother's Day. For us, even in East Indian culture, and I'm sure in many cultures, mom considered uh, like equal as God, because she's raising you, she's teaching you everything. So we decided to celebrate mother. So we started with the Mother's Day celebration, and then from there we actually had the opportunity to attend International Women Day in Legislative Building. And we saw the minister acknowledging one or two ladies there for their accomplishments. And we thought, you know what? How come we are not doing in our own culture? Like, we sure we have so many Asian women, East Indian women, other women who are making a difference and contributing so much, not only in their own culture, but overall in Manitoba. So we decided to celebrate International Women Day. So we made a advisory board, a committee who can, we can people ask people to nominate the women they think deserve a recognition. And in the beginning, of course, who is more deserving than your own mom, sort of thing. So, so people in the beginning, I think people had main within our own community, main women who not only are great moms, but they worked outside and they contributed. They made a difference. Like I remember, first woman we recognized on one of the Mother's Day, I believe, Mrs. Deol. I think she's Order of Manitoba as well. Great teacher, and I think the reason we recognized her, because I think she was one of the first president of one of the gurdwaras, like East Indian church, like a Sikh church. So that was a great honor to see women making a difference where it's always a man's world, but they made a difference. So I think that inspired so many people. And in 2017, we had a great because before we were having small gathering, then we end up having a gala dinner, and we sold 350 dinner tickets. So it was like, wow, people were waiting sort of this kind of thing to see happening. And now every year we get so many nominations rolling, and we said we're gonna every year we will recognize two women. So that is one of the event. And then we also decided, I think, afterwards, and we were doing this before too, but not under ava umbrella. We actually started celebrating Lori event, which is a celebration of newborn babies and new family members. So in back home, when you have a son in the house, people were celebrating. And when your son get married and his wife come to your house, so you celebrate the new bride in the house. And with the time, people changed and they started celebrating, baby girls as well. And we all, yeah, I think this is the perfect thing. So we decided, you know what, we going to celebrate this event, and especially change people's mental stigma around having girls is more burden versus boys. And then let's celebrate the birth of a girl as well. So we introduced this event on a bigger basis, and it's 5 years almost. We are doing it every year in January, January 13th, whichever weekend comes first. And we were having like 3,000, 4,000 plus people. And we were inviting all the parents with the newborns on the stage, and they just come dance and dance around the fire, like fake fire we have, because we cannot have. So it gave people like a celebration. And I remember, at the very first event we did, two couples came. One who didn't have the family here, and they had a baby girl, and they started crying. That they felt like it's a cry with so much, I think, joy and belonging to a community. And uh, because when we were inviting a family, we were asking them to bring their immediate family or friends on the stage so they can dance with them, they can celebrate. And this couple had nobody here. And then we ask people, who wants to become their family, and we had so many volunteers, and those people started crying with happiness and tears all over. They said they never felt this great, and they felt lucky that they are in Winnipeg. They came in beautiful city. We get lots of students every year who come to this event, and they feel so happy. They feel they belong here, and they learn their culture too at the same time, because they wanted to participate. They learn ethnic dances, and they come and they celebrate, and they learn how we can celebrate our culture and stay strong, and they tie to their roots in a nicer way. And one family came and they said, oh my god, we never seen this kind of celebration even in India, because mostly people celebrate individually within their families. Celebrating something on a community level is completely different thing. And I'm lucky that our organization came up with this, and we started celebrating Lori, and this is one of our signature event, I should say. uh, you know and I think, end of the day, Ryan, I think it's very important to have this feeling of belonging, especially when we are living in this multicultural society. When people come, they feel lost. They feel their kids gonna get lost, and because they are getting influenced by so many different cultures. They don't know which way is a good way. They don't know if their traditions are good. They don't know if their parents understand what kind of challenges these kids are facing when they sit in a multicultural environment, and they are teaching them something different. You come home, your parents teaching you something different, and you really have to find a happy place where kids understand and respect their own culture as well as the global culture, and develop that understanding that it's good to be who you are. It's really good to and feel pride who they are. I'm going to share a little story with you. When my kids were little and my parents came from India in 2000. Okay. And of course my mom gonna bring all the uh, clothing and other things for my daughter and my son, and they didn't want to dress up in those, like those are traditional clothes. And said, we are Canadians, we are not Indians. We not, not going to wear all these things. And I was going, oh my God, I never paid attention that how kids are thinking, right?
Yeah, you shift so quickly
Yeah,
if that's not where you grow up.
yeah. So it's just all of a sudden, I think that made me realize that, you know what, I need to do something in order to have my kids understand that it's okay to be Indian and Canadian as well. And I think the perfect timing happened that I had some great friends and they asked me to become part of India Association at that time. And I didn't even know what kind of thing is involved. And that's how I entered in Folklorama. And my very first day, when I told my kids, I will be gone for the evening for volunteer work, and they wanted to tag along, and I said, no, you guys can't, because I will be busy and you guys gonna get bored there. And they said, no, no, we still wanted to come. And my husband said, if they get bored, I will bring them home. So I said, then you come with us as well. And I remember my kids came with me first day, and they didn't get bored at all. They met so many other kids there who were performing. They were rehearsing in the rehearsal rooms, in the volunteer rooms, and they saw all these things. It's like a big Indian wedding. Like all the celebrations, people in the nice costumes, traditional dresses, and the smell of the food, and the whole atmosphere. And it's funny that my husband ended up volunteering because he couldn't stay home alone either. Uh, so our whole family, 7 days, I can't even remember how and where the time went. Coming from work, getting ready, going there, coming home 11:30, 12 o'clock every day. And time just flew. And it just gave me such a satisfaction to see kids in their ethnic clothing, see how much they're enjoying it. One way or the other, they are learning. They have that sense of belonging, and they're becoming good citizens because they're doing something nicer, positive. They're not into drugs, or they're not going.
Yeah, and getting involved in the community.
Yeah, so they're involved in a nicer way, and it's good to see, because we need to raise our kids. That's our future. So I feel so good. So everybody I meet, I tell them my own story, that how my kids got connected to the culture and how much this affected their life. That's why we encourage all the families to come forward and do, get their kids involved, let them volunteer, let them dance, let them do whatever they want, give them opportunity.
Showcase it in a way that interests them.
Yes, definitely. And I think another event we started in 2019, and that was our first cultural exchange sort of thing. And we wanted to do 15 communities for Manitoba's 150 for 2020. So that was like a rehearsal for in 2019, and our goal was to have at least 5 communities come together and do an event, and showcase their own culture. And you will not believe, when we put a request out, we had 16 communities instead of 5. So instead of 5, we end up having 16. It was such a nice atmosphere. I cannot even tell you how honored and how satisfied we felt that we started this event. But very unfortunate, because of COVID, we couldn't do the same event in 2020, because we wanted to dedicate that we went to Manitoba's 150. We wanted to be part of this celebration.
If you have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight, leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.